Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize the Algonquin Nation on whose traditional territory we are gathering. I just wrapped up a very productive meeting with leaders from 3 of the national Indigenous organizations: National Chief Bellegarde of the Assembly of First Nations, Vice President Chartrand of the Métis National Council, and President Obed of the Inuit Tapiriit Kanatami. It is fitting that we should meet today because it was exactly 1 year ago that the final report of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was released, and reconciliation was very much the focus of today's meeting. Comme vous le savez, notre gouvernement appuie les 94 appels à l'action de la Commission de vérité et de réconciliation. Jusqu'à maintenant, nous avons commencé à mettre en œuvre 41 des 45 appels à l'action qui relèvent du fédéral ou de compétences partagées. Cela inclut l'enquête nationale des femmes et des filles autochtones assassinées ou disparues, présentement en cours. Cela inclut aussi les mesures entreprises en vue d'éliminer les écarts dans les domaines de l'éducation et de l'emploi qui persistent entre les peuples autochtones et le reste des Canadiens. Nous avons encore beaucoup de travail à faire, mais nous faisons des progrès. Par exemple, cet automne, presque 2000 étudiants autochtones ont commencé l'année scolaire dans 6 écoles complètement neuves. Et cela inclut la présentation d'un projet de loi sur les langues autochtones. Ce projet de loi sera développé avec les peuples autochtones dans le but de préserver, de protéger et de revitaliser les langues des Premières Nations, des Métis et des Inuits partout au pays. At the same time, we recognize that true reconciliation goes beyond a list of action items. What is needed is a national strategy to advance long-term reconciliation. And so, coming out of today's meeting, I'm happy to announce 3 new steps that we will be taking together as we continue to renew the relationship between the Crown and Indigenous peoples in Canada. First, to ensure that the unique and distinct needs of Indigenous communities are taken into account, we will establish permanent bilateral forums with the AFN and First Nations, with the ITK and the 4 Inuit Nunangat Regions, and with the MNC and its governing members. I will meet with leaders of these groups every year to develop policy on shared priorities and monitor our progress going forward. Similar meetings with key cabinet ministers will take place at least twice a year. We're making this commitment because we believe that the best decisions and the best outcomes can only come about when we are fully engaged with all our Indigenous partners. This new, permanent, Kelowna-like process for engaging with Indigenous peoples will help get us there. Second, we will move forward with the creation of a National Council for Reconciliation, starting with the creation of an Interim Board of Directors. The Interim Board will begin an engagement process to develop recommendations on the scope and mandate of the National Council. This National Council addresses additional TRC calls to action. I have often talked about the need for renewed nation-to-nation relationships with Indigenous peoples. A National Council on Reconciliation can help to guide that broader process. Troisièmement, le gouvernement a convenu d'accorder une subvention de 10 millions de dollars afin d'appuyer le travail important du Centre national pour la vérité et la réconciliation situé à l'Université du Manitoba. Cette contribution aidera à assurer que l'histoire et l'héritage des pensionnats autochtones du Canada ne soit jamais oublié, qu'on s'en souvienne non seulement pour les prochaines années, mais pour toujours. Comme je l'ai dit, la rencontre d'aujourd'hui a été productive et s'est déroulée dans le plus grand respect. Tous les gens de la salle reconnaissent que le processus de réconciliation est en cours, mais prendra du temps. Et nous sommes également d'accord que la réconciliation n'est pas juste un enjeu autochtone, mais bien un enjeu canadien. Working together in the spirit of respect and partnership, we have taken some positive steps along the road to true reconciliation. I look forward, and we look forward, to continuing this important work. And I'm happy to take your questions now. Sorry, there's a mic there.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Christy Kirkup from Canadian Press. I'm wondering what the discussion of reconciliation today can do to help with immediate and pressing concerns like fires in Indigenous communities, considering there is another deadly blaze that just happened this morning on reserve in Southern Ontario.
Obviously, our thoughts and hearts go out to families affected by this most recent incident. But there are certainly two tracks that we have to keep in mind throughout the engagement with Indigenous peoples across this country. There are the pressing, urgent needs that we set forward $8.4 billion in Budget 2016 to begin to address. We've managed to lift 14 boil water advisories across the country, with more to come in the coming months and years, and we intend on meeting our target of ending boil water advisories within 5 years from having formed government. We have talked about the many young people who are started the school year in brand new schools across the country, with many more schools in the construction or planning phases. We have taken significant measures concretely to build solutions and partnerships with Indigenous communities, but we know that it's not just about immediate band-aids and immediate quick fixes. There is a relationship that needs to be renewed and rebuilt. And that is where the announcement today of processes that will allow us to engage in a whole-of-government way with the particular Indigenous organizations and communities to respond to the fact that the challenges we're facing will take not just years but decades in many cases to fully establish the right kind of relationship moving forward. So working together in a collaborative way, both on immediate concerns and setting the stage for the work that is yet to come, is very much what we focused on today.
Can I just ask if National Chief Perry Bellegarde can also weigh in on the tension between those immediate concerns?
The National Chiefs will be able to answer questions immediately after I